This is the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Cara DeFalco.
And I'm Mike Favetta.
Well, the holidays are known for being fun and festive, but it can also be a really big source of stress and anxiety for some folks.
That's right. Today we are talking with the CEO of Recovery Centers of America at Lighthouse, Corey Richey, about how to avoid drinking over the holidays. Corey, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
So, Corey, tell us a little bit about your story. What has your experience been in past holiday seasons?
So we see a lot of different things happen here at Recovery Centers of America in holiday seasons. Um, a lot of times people come in during the holidays and they want to leave to be with their family, but maybe their family doesn't want them to leave. We also see people that have had a long time in recovery that unfortunately do have a relapse during the holiday seasons because it can be a very stressful time, as you mentioned. So we see a lot of different people in all stages of recovery struggling through the holiday season.
Corey, that's really important. And also, what are some tips and exercises, one can work on if they want to avoid drinking? Is putting the liquor out of sight? Does that also mean out of mind? Is that one way?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in everything in recovery, it's about being prepared. So, preparing for the holiday season, preparing for a Tuesday, they can look almost the same, right? Depending on where you are in your recovery. Um, Knowing your triggers, like you mentioned, putting the liquor away, knowing your triggers and being prepared for them is extremely important. Um, Now's not the time to forget how you got sober and also what you were like when you were in your active addiction. Understanding what leads you to use the drugs or alcohol, an old friend, a certain place, anything like that. Steer clear of that entirely, especially on days where you're feeling particularly down.
Mm. So, Corey, when you talk about being prepared and acknowledging triggers, would you recommend something like mocktails or kind of, would you go even further in terms of kind of replacing, those alcohol and drugs with maybe some other holiday traditions that are better for folks?
That's a great question. I get a lot of question about mocktails, right?
Right.
So it really truly depends on the person. For some people, that's not a trigger at all. Maybe they didn't drink mixed drinks. Maybe it doesn't make them feel like they were at a bar. For other people, it's much better to completely avoid. The main thing to know is to have what triggers you and also to have your support system, right? So if you have people around you, friends, family, your sponsor, who knows what a trigger is for you, who knows how to support you, those are the people that you can turn to in times where you're like, maybe I'll have that mocktail. And they might say to you, I don't think that's a great idea for you.
Mm.
And having that support and having that connection, right? Because addiction, at the end of the day, it disconnects you from people. Connection is the key to success in recovery.
And you're so right about the support, having that support network, especially with all of the social gatherings. If you know somebody that has an addiction issue, you're right about
Yep.
switching it up and changing it, eliminating the alcohol just to prevent that trigger. So tell us more about Recovery Centers of America at Lighthouse. How did it get started, and how did you get started with it?
Sure. So, Recovery Centers of America at Lighthouse, it was actually a treatment facility that was privately owned. The owner was looking to get out of the field, spend more time with his family, and Recovery Centers of America came in and acquired the property. We've made a lot of changes since we've acquired the property, but we are in Mays Landing, New Jersey. Um, we have 5 different levels of care in our facility. So we have inpatient, which starts with detox, residential, and we also have outpatient. Not everybody coming into treatment needs detox or inpatient, but that doesn't mean you don't need treatment. There aren't options for you. I have been with Recovery Centers of America for almost 8 years. Actually started as an admissions counselor here and worked my way up, which is one of the great things about Recovery Centers of America. We hire former patients, we promote from within, and we really do have that community that helps people through recovery. I am local to the area. I've been here my entire life, so I know how underserved South Jersey can be. So that's kind of where my passion came from, helping our local communities fight addiction in the same ways that maybe somewhere that's a little bit more populous would be able to.
Corey, that's amazing, and I love that you're a local girl, that you chose to give back to your own community. With Jersey girl to Jersey girl, I always love that stuff. Where can folks, maybe they're interested, or they know that this is something that they need this time of year. Maybe, like you said, they just want to kind of check in and touch base during the holidays in the outpatient program. Where do they go to learn more?
So they can go to recoverycentersamerica.com, or they can call 1-800-RECOVERY. There's somebody answering the phones 24/7, 365, whether it's just for support, whether it's to schedule an admission, somebody is there to talk to you. We also offer free intervention services. So if you have a loved one that's struggling, we can get you an intervention for free. And that's very helpful during the holiday season. And most 12-step recovery groups also offer 24/7 meetings during the holidays. So going to your local intergroup website and finding those meetings is a huge help to make it through the holidays.
Amazing stuff. Corey, Richey, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for the work that you do. And thanks again for have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too. Have a great one. Bye.
Mike, it's such an important part of the holidays, and I love where she said, knowing your triggers, because I think, like anything else, it really comes down to, it's a very personal thing. So you do have to know yourself, and you do have to have that support system, like you said, that knows you and says, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe today that's not a great idea.
Right, and for it to be right here in New Jersey, I'm sure you've maybe seen the national commercials for Recovery Center of America, but you don't know, is this a place that's out west? Is it down south? It's right here in the Garden State. So that makes it close to home and kind of makes you feel a little bit better that you're helping people right in your community.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, folks, you can watch us on New Jersey on most smart TVs and mobile devices. Our channel is now on News On. You can get their app on your phone. Plus, you can get the News On app on Roku, Fire TV, and Samsung TV.